if you're worried about, killing something that's conscious, that feels pain, that is very much aware, how do you eat anything at this point without feeling bad? Hello everyone, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you have seen other videos of mine and are returning, welcome back. Either way, you are most welcome. So in this video, I'm going to be putting forth a couple arguments that I have that basically, in my opinion, show that vegans are just essentially hypocrites in an interesting way. So let's get to it. Did you guys know, for instance, that plants feel pain like animals do? They just feel it in a different way. So at this point, there have been numerous studies done, and although, like I said, plants feel pain differently than animals, it's now common knowledge that they do in fact feel pain. So I'll give you an example. When you mow your lawn, there's a wonderful smell. A lot of people love that smell of cut grass. And that smell is actually a chemical released by the grass that would be the equivalent of a human screaming in pain. And so is it really humane to cut grass? Is it humane to take something out of the ground and kill it? So my second argument are that did you guys know that plants and trees are at least somewhat aware of their surroundings and actually communicate with each other? So there was a study done here in Canada, I believe in British Columbia, but I'm not too sure about that. And they looked at a forest and a specific type of tree in this forest that was being eaten by a type of beetle. And when this tree is being eaten by the beetle, the tree produces a chemical toxin to try and prevent the beetle from eating its leaves, because they need the leaves to survive. So if the beetle eats enough of this toxin, then they could die off, and so the tree won't be eaten, and the tree will survive. But what was interestingly is not only the tree that was actually being eaten, but trees all across the forests, some of which were like kilometers or miles, if you're American, away, were also producing the toxins at the same time, even though there was no evidence of the beetle anywhere near them. So that means that those trees, some way, were communicating to each other to raise the alarm that, hey, there's the beetle in the forest, start producing your poisons. So, okay, so plants feel pain, plants communicate. Did you guys know that trees will actually feed and help other trees of their own type in a forest? And that the forest is actually way more interconnected than you guys think? So there was a 5-year experiment that happened, and researchers used carbon-13, which is radioactive, and they're able to trace that, and they traced the carbon through the trees. So basically what they did is they put a bag of carbon dioxide on, and they covered a few branches of a selective tree. So the tree takes the carbon dioxide, uses it, and produces oxygen instead. But when they scanned other trees in the area, not just the trees that they put the carbon on, the radioactive tracer on, all of those trees had the radioactive tracer in them. And scientists have since learned that a tree somehow just knows when it interacts with roots, whether it's its own roots, whether it's the roots of a different species or whether it's the roots of the same species of tree. And if it is the same species, they will actually connect and share resources. And they've also learned that they actually share more resources if the other tree is young or if the other tree is sick in some way. But that means that they somehow know that that other tree is younger or sick. So they have to be in some way, shape, or form consciously aware of what's going on in their surroundings. And so with all of that in mind, here's my question. If you're worried about, killing something that's conscious, that feels pain, that is very much aware, how do you eat anything at this point without feeling bad? So personally, for me, in my opinion, it's hypocritical to draw a quote-unquote line in the sand, as it were, and say, oh, well, because this thing is this, then I won't eat it, but because this thing is this, I will. Because that line doesn't really exist in nature. And generally that line goes around the lines of, well, it's a living thing, it has a face, it's aware and feels pain, but the problem is, well, a tree doesn't have a face. I guess that's the only thing that you're going off at this point, or plants don't have faces. So I guess that's the only thing. So if it's a face, I don't eat it, but if it isn't, I can eat it. I'm causing pain either way. I'm killing something that is aware and communicating, but it doesn't have a face. See, to me, that's very hypocritical, and that's just a convenient. It was a convenient argument until we learned that, in fact, guess what? They feel it. They're aware. So what are you going to eat? Are you just going to starve yourself to death at this point? No, that seems ridiculous. Nature intends nature to eat other things. Now, yes, if you're a herbivore, that means you eat the plants and you're hurting the plants. If you're a carnivore, that means you hurt the animals that eat the plants. If you're an omnivore, you eat the plants and the animals that eat the plants. Guess what? We're omnivores, people. That's what we're meant to be. That's what nature intended us to be. If you don't believe me, then just look at what types of teeth you have. The types of teeth tell you exactly what you're supposed to eat. If you have all molars, you're a plant eater. If you have canines, you're a carnivore. And if you have both, you're an omnivore. Guess what we have? That's right, we have both. My final thoughts on veganism and being vegan. You know what? If you want to be a vegan, good for you. If you don't, that's okay too. I'm not going to judge you either way. It's your choice. And in my opinion, nobody should really criticize you for how you live, as long as you don't criticize others as well. So as I talked about last week, if you're one of those militant vegans, then I'm going to criticize and I'm going to attack your choices as much as you would attack mine. And to those militant vegans, I have one message for you. Keep it to yourself and don't assume you're special because of what you eat, because you're not. You're no more important or special than anyone else on this planet is. You just aren't. And if you don't want to be vegan, sorry, if you do want to try being vegan, like I said before, go for it. Here's the thing. Don't just go out, buy some vegetables, and think you're going to succeed. I want this known. And this was actually something that some of the vegans I talked to before I actually made this series, I talked to them about this, because this is a thing that most people don't realize, and then they get in a lot of trouble. Nutrition is important, and you have to be very, very aware of it when you're trying to be a vegan. Personally, I would suggest talking to your doctor and maybe even a nutritionist to ensure that you're getting all of the vitamins and minerals and other things your body needs on a daily level. Please, if you want to become vegan, do it safely. Don't just be pressured into it by someone and, run into it blind. If you do that, you're just going to make yourself sick. And if you're not sure you can be vegan, like for instance, I wanted to try. I didn't think I would succeed in it, honestly, but I wanted to try and see if I could do it. Try and be vegan just for a specific amount of time. So let's say I'm gonna do it for a month, and if you can't do it, you can't do it. You're not meant to be vegan, and there's nothing negative about that. There's, if you do it, great, and if you want to continue after that month, hey, good for you. That's how I would get started if I was trying to become vegan. And like I said, I did try. I tried. I originally wanted to do it for a month. I only lasted 2 weeks, and I couldn't make it past that. I was miserable for some reason. When I eat protein and it's not red meat, my body just doesn't feel like it's getting the same out of it. Even like, for instance, when I eat fish or chicken, for some reason I'm just always, oh hey buddy, I'm just, yeah, you're in my video now. Do you want to say hi to the camera? It's over here. Say hi. Say hi to the camera. All right, go on. Down you go. Good boy. So like, even when I eat chicken or like fish, for instance, my body just doesn't tend to feel as satisfied and as full as if I eat red meat. That's just my body. It is what it is. That's the reason I'm not planning to become vegan anytime soon. I still challenge myself. I actually, it wasn't easy, but I think it was about a year ago now, I just decided, oh, you know what, this month I'm just gonna do vegetarian. And although that was painful as well, it wasn't as painful for me as being vegan, because at least I could get the protein from eggs and animal products like that. So you know what, do you, be you, and if anyone thinks that they can tell you otherwise, tell them to shove it, because that's what we should be telling these people anyway, in my opinion. I think we've been too nice to a lot of entitled people for way too long, and it's allowed some very negative behaviors that shouldn't really be out there anyway. It blows my mind the amount of entitlement for someone to think that they should be able to dictate to another person how they live their life. But hey, that's just me, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think those are good arguments to ask vegans about? If you're vegan, how do you feel about that information about, plants feeling pain and plants being aware and actually communicating with each other? Does that change your mind about any of the vegan stuff? If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you want, choose to subscribe. And if not, hey, that's totally up to you. I hope you have a good day or week or however long it is until you see my next video. My next video, by the way, will be very interesting. It's the story of the vegan who told me I was a monster on my birthday. So stay tuned for that one. Until then, see ya.